Good day, everyone, especially to our Professor Doc Manuel Roman, and welcome to Advanced Administration and Supervision. I am Hanijin Venus Corpus, your discussant. My topics are meaning of school management and 4 major types of school management. School management is a process of leading the school towards development through not only the optimum use of the human resources, physical sources, principles and concepts that help in achieving all the objectives of the school, but also the proper coordination and adjustment among all of them. School management also managing a school in a very effective and efficient manner with a view to get maximum advantages for a school. Management is the primary force within any organization which coordinates the activities of various systems in relation to its objectives. A school, being a social organization with specified objectives, the school management means the use of people and other resources to accomplish the objectives of the school. School management is a cooperative human endeavor and requires the cooperation of teachers, parents, students, community members, and local administration for smooth functioning. The 4 major types of school management. First, centralized and decentralized educational management. Second, external and internal educational management. Third, authoritarian or autocratic and democratic educational management. And fourth, creative educational management. Centralized and decentralized educational management. This type of educational management refers to the centralization of the power and responsibility of educational administration, supervision, and control, which results in educational management on one hand in division and distribution of powers and responsibilities of educational administration, supervision, and control that results in educational management. Among these 2 types of educational management, decentralized educational management is the accepted type of educational management in the present modern educational system. The cause is that divisions and distribution of powers, responsibilities, and duties of any type can make every program a successful one. In the centralized educational management, all sorts of powers, responsibilities in relation to educational management are vested in one hand. Suppose, in the field of higher education, the director, higher education is the real executive head and all sorts of powers and responsibilities remain in his/her hand. The other associate officers are additional director, deputy director, assistant director, remain silent in this regard. Then, the principals of different colleges also remain silent in this regard. But practically speaking, this type of educational management is outdated and useless in the modern educational system. The reason is that it was prevailed when expansion of education was a charitable work for the kings and emperors. But in the decentralized educational management, the powers, responsibilities are distributed and decentralized from the director higher education to the peon of a college, in which everybody involved in the field of higher education feels seriously the responsibility of educational management, and at the same time, they take the risk of making educational management a successful one. External and internal educational management. The external management of educational program means for those elements, factors, and supporting agencies which provide opportunities and facilities for the smooth management of educational program in external perspective. In humanitarian perspective, the external management of educational program refers to the persons or elements who are indirectly involved in its management. They are the community members, specialists, experts, administrators, parents, supervisors, and all other agencies. Their first and foremost duty is to create a suitable and sound atmosphere and provide all sorts of resources and help and moral ground. Besides, they have to give suggestions for participating and observing the management of educational institution, but they are active and internal involvement in the process isn't acceptable and desirable. Internal educational management refers to management of any educational program is vested upon the persons who are actively and eternally involved in the management of every educational program. It categorically refers to the head of the institution or headmaster or principal of the school and other teaching personnel, students, and non-teaching staff. Besides, the internal management means the duty is rendered by these personnel as assigned to them in relation to planning, organizing, coordinating, supervising, controlling, administering, and evaluating. Here, it is essential to mention that although they are not officially assigned to manage the program and satisfy it, but the degree of certificate that will be given to them will be their expectation level. Practically speaking, internal management has much more importance than external management. The reason is that the elements of internal management are actively involved in the process, and the degree of success of management depends upon them. Authoritarian, autocratic, and democratic educational management. Just like centralized management, authoritarian management plays its role. And centralized management, the centralization of the power and responsibility of educational management, centered in and exercised by a central power, organization, or agency. It implies that all the policies and programs are planned, directed by one central agency. Here, the central agency may be a person, a group of persons as core group. So, when the powers and responsibilities center around a particular person or group, then the term authoritarian or autocracy comes into limelight. In this context, it will be sophist if we'll discuss authoritarian, autocratic management, where authority and control lies in one person or group or institution. In this management, the rights are absolute and supreme, and educational management is a state of monopoly. In this type of educational management, every aspect of education is controlled by one, and educational administration becomes centralized, being dominated by bureaucracy, which controls through strict administration of laws, rules, and regulations. The business of the staff is to emphasize these laws, rules, and central orders and to see that these are properly carried out. The teacher, as the real and regular practitioner, becomes the mouthpiece of the central authority, having no professional freedom. This type of educational management generally found in totalitarian or unitary states. In this type of states, educational management remains in the hand of the head of the educational institution, who exercises authority and control in a centralized form. It implies that he directs every action of his teachers and students. He plans all the school activities. Democratic educational management. Now in the modern era, democracy is unanimously regarded and accepted as the way of life. This is not only applicable in case of a particular nation, but also for the entire world. This very statement implies that in every aspect of development, the democratic principles, values, and ideas must be adhered or accepted. Accordingly, in the field of management, it must be accepted and implemented. Decentralization refers to the type of management in which control is vested in the agencies or persons ranging from grassroots level to top level. It recognizes the rights of all the agencies or persons who are linked with the educational institution. In this type of educational management, we feelings prevail in the educational institution with an environment of mutual trust, accompanied by cooperative planning, group discussion, participation of all the staff members, and organization of the program in a joint venture. Principles of democratic educational management. First, principle of sharing responsibility. In the field of democratic educational management, everybody who is more or less involved in the process should take the responsibility to share in the work. Second, principle of equality. As equality is the basic hallmark of democracy, it should be treated and accepted in the field of democratic educational management. So, all the personnel who are involved in the process should get equal facilities, rights, and opportunities in doing their duty. Third, principle of freedom. In the field of democratic educational management, every person should be given freedom to do their duty in their own jurisdiction. This will lead to make the educational management of every educational program successful in democratic perspective. Fourth, principle of cooperation. In order to make educational management of any educational program a successful one, a greater cooperation should be ensured among different persons involved in the field of educational management. The last major types of school management is creative educational management. The creative management of every educational program indicates the uniqueness of the head of the educational institution in which the program is conducted. It means when the educational management of any educational program is done through utilization of creative talents associated with this from top to bottom in a desirable and acceptable manner. According to Scott Hayden, teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day and God bless everyone. Once again, I am Hanijin Venus Corpus, your discussant.